of Saints and Sinners by Morningstar Writes. Chapter 5. The Best Friend! Dad, when did you take this photo with the bees? Charlie positions her phone to show him. Lucifer leans in closer to look and immediately regrets it when he's face to face with the most unflattering picture of him that he has ever seen. Who posted this? Lucifer yells, grabbing Charlie's phone out of her hands. He uses 2 fingers to zoom in on the photo, making it bigger and bigger and bigger. It's him, Velvet, and Alastor during the battle at the V Tower, uploaded onto her personal Instagram, of all places. Posted by Velvet. Caption, 2 fuckers on their way back to the nursing home. Photograph on Instagram. Alastor had just grabbed him by the back of his jacket to escape while his entire body is completely distorted. Lucifer is in mid-blink and Velvet's face is twisted into a cruel sneer, her middle finger to the camera. Looking good, Lucifer. Maggie tries to cover her laughter with her hand. He doesn't dare scroll through the comments, which grow dangerously by the second. Dad, is this what you were doing instead of getting the shopping done? Hanging out with Alastor and the V's? Aye, it's very clear that we weren't hanging out. Lucifer angrily mimes air quotes with his hands. And do you see this? That man is literally ripping my jacket. You two little freaks couldn't even handle an errand. Angel Dust howls, plucking the phone out of Lucifer's hands to look at it again. Charlie, please let me redeem myself. Lucifer clasps his hands together. I'll get the stuff you need this time. You know what? Scratch that. That bellhop and I will go get them, okay? I'll prove to you that we can work together. And stop looking at that! He turns to grab the phone, but Angel Dust holds it above his head, playfully wiping tears out of his eyes as Lucifer jumps to reach for it. Okay, Dad, but if you two mess up this one, I'm going to have to assign someone to go with you. Charlie reluctantly hands him a cream order slip, covered in swooping pink calligraphy. This is for tomorrow. Could you pick up some clothes I ordered at Rosie's Emporium? It's in Cannibal Town. I've never been, but I'll be good. Lucifer says determinedly. No fighting this time, I swear on, my rubber duck collection. Bye-bye. As he teleports away, Lucifer thinks, this has to go perfectly. Once her dad is gone, Charlie looks at the picture on Instagram again. Do they look like friends to you? She asks, and they all huddle around the phone to inspect it up close. Hard to say, hun, Maggie admits. I mean, it kind of looks like they're one step away from murdering someone. Or each other. Charlie sighs at this. The thing is, my dad said that Alastor confessed something to him. Charlie. Angel Dust's eyes crinkle with mischief. What is this? A love confession? No! It was his words, not mine. Charlie says frantically. I just wish there was a way to know if they're doing well. When I last spoke with my dad, he sounded so angry at Alastor. Remember what we talked about, sweetie. Leave it to them. Right. Still, Charlie saves the picture to her phone. She'll send it to him later. Daughter! Here's the photo of Dad. Attached. Image file. Lucifer. Charlie, I did not want this! Lucifer puts the phone down, appalled at how hideous the photo looks. Like a masochist, he opens up the picture again, then puts the phone down, and then opens it. Good morning, sir. Alastor materializes into his room without a warning. As it is exactly 5 a.m., it's time to rise and shine. Ha! Lucifer yells gleefully, leaping up to his feet from his chair. I knew you'd come and ambush me, so I'm ready today. He's been fully dressed for an hour, actually, and he's tired as hell, but it's all worth it for the vexed look on Alastor's face. How boring. Alastor's holding his, oh dear, coughing up again, and Lucifer can smell the aroma of fresh coffee curling around in the air. I will have to be more unpredictable then. Speaking of unpredictable, look at this. Lucifer shoves his phone in front of Alastor's face, and he looks down at the screen a bit cross-eyed. This photo sucks. Alastor delicately holds the phone to peer at the image. You look? And then he starts cackling, putting his hand on his radio cane to steady himself. So commanding, your majesty. As Alastor continues to laugh at his expense, Lucifer yanks the phone back, grumbling the whole time. Oh yeah, you can stop looking at it now. Why are you here anyway? Alastor composes himself and his face reverts to his usual impassive smile.
We have unfinished business with a wager. What will it be?
Oh, yeah.
Lucifer taps his chin, acting as though he were mulling over the answer.
I wonder what you should do. Wash my clothes, clean my room.
Alastor narrows his eyes.
Don't you dream big.
Truthfully, Lucifer was able to do anything he wants with a snap of his fingers. But he's enjoying watching Alastor wait around for his impending demand. He's still not certain what he'll ask for, but he's definitely planning for it to be stupid. Or fun.
Ooh.
Lucifer teases.
Stressed about what you have to do?
Ha ha! Your bad idea was to have me clean your room,
Alastor says dryly.
I'm sure I can handle any of your little requests.
Before Lucifer can respond, Alastor suddenly drops his coffee cup, his hand gripping tensely on the lapel of his jacket. The coffee splashes a bit onto the carpet, and Lucifer gets rid of the stain with a magical flick of his wrist.
You good?
Lucifer is rather alarmed, and he picks up the cup as it rolls towards his feet. In a flash, Alastor straightens up his back, his knuckles turning white as he clutches onto his radio cane.
Oh, I will,
Alastor says with fake cheer in his voice.
I'm just appalled at how late I am to my meeting, so I will have to make an exit here.
You're leaving? To where?
Lucifer asks, surprised. He had already promised Charlie that he would get Alastor to go with him to Cannibal Town. Which makes him feel unsettled. Why did he assume that Alastor would automatically accompany him?
Oh, I am simply going out to meet someone.
Alastor's smile looks more forced by the second.
Did you want me to write a report for you?
Hey.
Lucifer reaches his hand out and Alastor backs away immediately.
You sort of look...
What?
Lucifer falters at his tone, drops his hand, leans away to give him space. They're standing on opposite ends of the room, separated by nothing but the invisible wall that Alastor had constructed, impenetrable and confusing.
You look kind of sick,
Lucifer admits, and Alastor freezes up at this.
Maybe you should see someone?
Worried again?
Alastor's calm facade peels away at the edges, and he's holding his radio cane so tightly that it looks like it's about to snap in half. Lucifer is worried, but he can't voice it. Not when Alastor was so upset the last time he mentioned it. In lieu of expressing this sentiment, Lucifer sighs and shakes his head impatiently.
Just come back when you're done. We still have to exchange compliments, right?
Alastor's grin stretches at this, but his eyes still look a bit panicked, the red sclera glowing unnaturally against the pallor of his skin.
Naturally. I never back out of a deal.
Not a deal.
When Alastor dissipates away, Lucifer is still holding onto his "oh dear" cup, and he sets it down onto his table beside the red pen that Alastor had lent him for the errand. Picking up the order slip that Charlie gave him, Lucifer summons up a golden portal.
Guess it's a solo trip to Cannibal Town then.
Alastor slinks back to his room to curl up on the floor, trying to calm his shuddering breath. His shadow is spurting frenziedly in all directions, and the golden wound on his chest is pulsating erratically now, threatening to ooze out blood at any moment. He fumbles around for his roll of medical gauze to wrap up the wound. The tightness suppresses the pain a bit, and he finally regains his composure, standing up on shaky legs.
I am going to kill those stupid V's,
Alastor snarls, his claws digging into his table to steady himself.
And Adam again, and anyone who stands in my way.
Lucifer suddenly flickers through his mind, and he thinks about the other day. His stubbornness to help, his large red and white wings, his unexpected compliment.
It was a nice picture of you,
Lucifer had said. Alastor glances up at the mirror, and his red eyes stare back at him glassily. There's sweat beading on his brow from exertion, and his sharp yellow teeth are clenched from the pain. There's nothing particularly agreeable about his appearance. In fact, he looks weakened. Alastor snarls at his reflection.
Disgusting!
And he doesn't want anyone to see him, especially not the king of hell. Not like this. In a fit of fury, he throws his fist at the mirror. It smashes into a million pieces, landing on the floor like fragments of ice.
Rosie will have something for this pesky little wound.
Alastor pulverizes the mirror shards under his shoe before he warps away. Cannibal Town is surprisingly lovely and quaint, filled with vintage architecture and citizens donning old-fashioned garb. Lucifer walks around on the street, trying to figure out where Rosie's emporium is located when he spots a familiar figure in the corner of his eye. Alastor is walking by himself, and without even thinking, Lucifer ducks behind a building. It's a bit awkward to see him, actually. The conversation from this morning is still fresh in his mind, and he can still see Alastor in his mind. Distant, uneasy, pained even? Lucifer glances down at his order slip and holds it close to his chest. I'll just find the store and leave, he thinks, peeking out from behind the wall. Except Lucifer watches Alastor walk into the only store he needs to get to, Rosie's Emporium.
Seriously?
Lucifer mutters, slapping his head for frustration.
Why is he even here? I can't catch a break.
He carefully crawls his way over to the window, trying to see what Alastor's up to. It's fine. Once he leaves, Lucifer will just go in to get the order. But in the meantime, he's forced to be a major creep, peeking in through the window, and he desperately hopes that Alastor doesn't notice him. There's a little bell on the door that chimes when Alastor pushes through, and a tall lady wearing a burgundy dress, presumably Rosie, lifts her head up at the sound. Oh my stars! Alastor! Rosie cries out. The window display glass isn't particularly soundproof, so Lucifer can hear every word she says. Where have you been, mister?
Hello, Rosie.
Alastor looks genuinely delighted to see her. She pulls him in by his hand, and he pats her shoulder affectionately.
Quite a pleasure to see you.
Come to the back. It's more private that way. Lucifer watches through the window as the two of them disappear behind a curtain, and he's absolutely flabbergasted at the casual intimacy they shared. He slowly peels himself off of the window ledge, and he lies down on the pavement in agony.
He looks so happy,
Lucifer mumbles. It's a stark contrast to this morning, where Alastor had kept a wide distance between them, looking distraught and in a hurry to leave. Is that Alastor's girlfriend? He's feeling very... He can't pinpoint the exact emotion, actually. It's all shaken up inside of him, like a nasty cocktail. Equal parts nausea, embarrassment, and intrigue. An unholy trifecta. Lucifer looks down at the order form, and he definitely doesn't want to let Charlie down again, but he also definitely doesn't want to see Alastor either. I'll give them some privacy and circle back, he thinks. It's fair to see Alastor so comfortable with someone else. Besides, he didn't tell Alastor who he was meeting, which indicated that he probably wanted some time alone. Still, Lucifer feels a bit dejected walking around by himself. The previous charm of the town vanished into thin air. Alastor! You need someone to look at that wound! Alastor is in the changing room by himself, and he's putting some medicine on his injury, wincing whenever it stings.
And who do you suggest?
He asks, buttoning his shirt back on. Although the healing salve alleviates some of the pain, it still isn't a miracle elixir, and he can see blood trickling out of his bandages. When he exits the changing room, Rosie is sipping tea at the table, her eyebrows knitted with concern. Oh, sweetie, you have to know someone. Maybe Charlie can reach out to a contact in heaven? Or do you know anyone with angelic power?
What helpful misguided soul can heal such wounds and not spread the word about it?
Alastor drawls. Lucifer crosses his mind again, which he quickly pushes away. Admittedly, he's shown some signs of concern over the past few weeks, and he did wield great angelic power in his hands. But Alastor doesn't trust him. And how could he ever? They're together because of a deal. They'll separate once it's over, and they don't owe each other anything beyond that.
The answer, of course, is no one. I will find a way to fix it myself.
He sits down at the table with Rosie, ignoring the look of disapproval she sends in his direction. All right, darling. For the second I hear that someone has angelic power, I'm going to tell them to check on you, Rosie warns. I may not give a hoot about Franklin, but I care about you, mister.
Oh, Rosie.
Alastor places his chin in his hand.
What would I do without you?
Suffer, probably. They both laugh at this. Oh, Oh, speaking of, I have a new crop of sinners for you. I can guarantee that they're fresh. Alastor's dear ears perk up at this initially, but he sighs and shakes his head.
As enticing as that sounds, I am currently engaged in a deal, so I can't spare the time.
Oh? Rosie's eyes sparkle at this. What's it for this time? Money? Fame? Power?
Not exactly.
Alastor hesitates.
We are simply spending time with each other, exchanging some compliments, and we played music together once.
Rosie blinks at this. Now, just a second, Alastor. Can you repeat that? I mean, what kind of deal is this?
I will admit that it's a bit unorthodox.
Alastor takes a sip from his teacup.
We are supposed to make nice with each other, and then he'll owe me a little favor. And it will be quite worth the trouble. He is a powerful one to have on my chain.
Wow, Alastor. Rosie pronounces his name with an old-timey lilt, making it sound more like Alastor. I would love to meet this fine gentleman. Introduce us, why don't you?
Alastor balks at this. Perhaps.
It's quite normal for him to share details about his deals with Rosie, but he's hesitant on talking about this particular one. Their promise feels erroneous, something that he shouldn't have done but can't take back. Alastor evades the topic and changes it altogether.
Regardless, thank you for the salve, Rosie,
Alastor says. As they step out of the back room together, she places her hand in his and squeezes it reassuringly.
It's probably safe to enter now, right?
Lucifer peeks through the shop display to check. This time, Rosie's holding on to his hand. What? And before he can stop himself, Lucifer forces the door open. Hey! Lucifer stomps over. Thud, 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 and waves his order form around. He can feel an insecure plastered-on smile forming on his face, and he looks over at Rosie, noting with some bitterness that she's around the same height as Alastor.
Charlie asked me to pick up some clothes. Oh, wow, what a surprise to meet you here. And who is this?
It all comes out in one sentence, fumbling out of his mouth like word vomit. If Alastor is surprised by his presence, he doesn't show it. Instead, he gestures to Rosie, and she steps around the counter to come closer.
This is Rosie, sir. She is the proprietor of the shop.
Rosie looks at him carefully, and then her face breaks into a smile. Oh my, isn't this Lucifer, Mr. Fallen Angel, in the flesh? I saw you on Katie Killjoy's broadcast. You're even more handsome in person.
Oh, thank you.
Lucifer feels a bit unnerved by how friendly she is.
I can't believe you're with Alastor. You're so polite.
Aren't you a Brian? Rosie laughs at this, and she looks at them curiously. Say, Alastor, when did you become friends with His Royal Highness? Not friends, they both say immediately. Lucifer's not sure how to describe their relationship at the moment. He looks over at Alastor, who smiles back with his usual razor-edged grin.
We work together?
That is incorrect.
Alastor refutes.
I work and you play.
Huh? Well, I build and you destroy.
I plan things and you burn them up.
Lucifer catches sight of Rosie's amused grin and he falters.
I'm sorry, Miss Rosie. I'm actually here to pick something up. Could you get this order for me?
Why, of course. Rosie plucks the order form from his hand. You two just sit tight. When Rosie is out of earshot, Alastor turns around to face him.
Are you perhaps following me?
Alastor asks, watching as Lucifer's face turns bright red from anger.
No! Charlie asked me to go to Cannibal Town. Technically, she asked the both of us, but you said you were busy.
I am busy. Not everyone has as much free time as you, Your Majesty.
I'm working, which is what you should be doing.
Is that so? What a demotion. From the king of hell to an errand boy, a riches to rags story.
Aren't you the facility manager? Lucifer huffs. What are you even doing here?
And Alastor doesn't reply to this. It's troubling that he doesn't shoot back a glib remark. Lucifer tilts his head up to look at him, and Alastor clutches tighter onto his radio game.
You're here for Rosie, Lucifer guesses. Are you two dating?
Alastor's eyes narrow at his question.
Why do you ask? Are you interested in her?
Lucifer's jaw drops at the insinuation, waves his hands around hastily, panics as Alastor looks increasingly upset the longer he takes to answer.
No, absolutely not.
God, since when did it get so stifling in this shop?
I just meant I mean, she held your hand and you look okay with it.
This seems to mollify Alastor a little bit, but he still looks at Lucifer suspiciously.
Well, if you must know, Rosie is my longtime friend. She's absolutely delightful and smart as a whip. But we would never date in a million years.
Why not? The words tumble out of his mouth before he can rethink it. And Alastor fixes him with a smile.
Are you jealous?
Huh? Lucifer is at a loss for words.
You are being awfully observant about something that happened for only a few seconds. If you want to hold hands with a lady, I'm sure there are plenty in the kingdom who chase royalty.
Alastor sings.
It takes a moment for Lucifer to understand, and he feels mortified when it finally clicks. Nope, wrong. Totally wrong idea. What he was truly annoyed about, was that Alastor, a demon who refuses to participate in simple trust exercises, runs away from conversations, and avoids any kind of physical contact with Lucifer, that same demon was perfectly happy being held by his friend. A friend of many years. Many. Lucifer pushes down the inexplicable hurt and scoffs. Sure, maybe it'd be nice to be with someone again in a romantic way, but I don't have time for that kind of stuff right now anyway. Unfortunately, I spent every moment with you.
Booyah now,
Rosie says cheerfully. Lucifer yelps. When did she even come back? And he's so embarrassed by their conversation that he takes a giant step away from him. Rosie places the dress down on the counter, her eyes sparkling with amusement.
Alastor, you two just get lost in your own little world. I was standing here for a while, but you both ignored me.
Sorry. Lucifer hurriedly scoops up the dress into his arms. Thank you for all your assistance. I'll just, head back now.
That's no problem at all, Your Highness.
Rosie smiles cheerfully.
Before you go, I would love to know what you two do in your free time together. How does Alastor spend his time at the hotel?
Oh, well, Lucifer glances over at Alastor, who's currently looking at Rosie with annoyance. We work together, mostly. We do some errands together. And I guess we've played music together once.
Really? Care to share some more details?
Rosie's eyes slide all the way over to Alastor, and there's a teasing smile on her face. You know, there's really nothing all that exciting to say.
Let's get going, sir. Alastor cuts in. I believe Charlie is waiting for your successful return. Don't want to let her down now,
Lucifer watches the next part unfurl in slow motion. Alastor tries to pick up the other dress on the counter, but he visibly flinches, digs his hands onto the table to stabilize himself, leaves long claw marks in his weight, his smile pinched the whole time, and he's been trying to pretend that he hasn't noticed Alastor's behavior throughout the day, all for the sake of his pride. They've been forced to spend time together for a few weeks at this point, and Lucifer can recognize when he's in pain now. It's a little too noticeable, a little too alarming to just wait for him to own up to it, and Lucifer finally caves into his desire to help. You've been acting weird all day, Lucifer admits. What the hell is going on with you? Alastor and Rosie respond at the same time. He's hurt!
Nothing!
Alastor groans and fixes Rosie with a glare.
Rosie, dear, please.
Rosie places her hand on Lucifer's arm, the gentle touch freezing him in place. When he looks at her, her pitch black eyes somehow reflect limitless concern with her friend.
Lucifer, as an ex-angel, do you still have your powers?
Rosie!
Alastor's voice is harsh and freezing, but she pays him no heed.
Please, will you help me with something?
Rosie tightens her hold on Lucifer and is starting to hurt his arm.
Alastor's stubborn as a mule, but he's in a lot of pain, and only angelic power can heal him.
What's wrong? Lucifer looks over at Alastor, who is trying to unsuccessfully sneak away from the interrogation. Did you get hurt with the V's?
No, that fight was a joke.
Alastor sighs out in resignation.
This is just a little souvenir from Adam.
Adam! Lucifer's jaw drops. That was ages ago.
Oh, I am perfectly fine. I tore the wound a bit. Nothing a little power nap can't heal.
Alastor says dismissively.
Don't listen to him.
Rosie stage whispers. He's trying to act tough, but he'll collapse soon. Okay, come on. Lucifer beckons him up with his hand. Show me.
I don't like when you two conspire against me.
Alastor suddenly winces his injury, and the three of them stand off in silence, watching as he pulls out a handkerchief from his pocket to wipe his brow.
Well, do you see this, your majesty? Please, won't you help out a sinner in need of salvation?
Rosie,
Alastor's smile is mostly teeth.
if you keep pushing.
Yes, Alastor, what are you gonna do?
She says sweetly. It's a lot to think about. But Lucifer doesn't want him to die necessarily, and healing was one of the few residual gifts he retained from heaven. He could have Alastor back to normal in a heartbeat, cracking sarcastic comments and feasting on more disgusting food.
Surely you're not entertaining this notion.
Alastor looks over at Lucifer, his deer ears pulled back in dismay. He carefully observes Alastor, sees the slight haze in his eyes, the way he clenches his jaw from pain. And Lucifer makes a decision. All right, you know what? I won the wager, he commands, drawing himself up to his full height. I order you to let me heal you. Alastor sucks in a breath and exhales.
If that is what you wish,
His words come out like pulling teeth.
I will meet you at the radio tower.
Alastor's radio tower is still completely destroyed, and Lucifer pushes away at the rubble, trying to find a flat area for him to lie down on. The color scheme is overwhelmingly red, as though a physical reflection of Alastor's signature look, and Lucifer points down at the ground for him to rest. Where's the injury? Lucifer asks. Alastor reclines on the smooth floor with his hands clasped neatly over his torso, looking about as excited as if he were about to enter a coffin.
The stomach area.
Alastor says evenly. Okay, you'll have to remove your shirt.
I didn't know you were such a deviant, sir. What would the paper say?
God, then don't! Lucifer says heatedly, and then he shakes his head. I still need to hold some part of you to heal you, Lucifer explains. What would, work for you? Alastor glares at him before extending his hand out, lifting his palm up. Lucifer cautiously places his own hand down, marveling at the size difference again. He slides his fingers in slowly to intertwine them together, and Alastor's breath hitches in his throat. It's the most intimate thing they've ever done. Alastor's hand starts to get cold and clammy.
What next, sir?
Alastor mumbles, his eyes fogging over. It's a bit worrisome, and Lucifer suppresses the urge to smack his face to keep him awake. I'll do the rest. You just lie there. Healing is a long, arduous process, and Alastor squeezes his hand every now and then, but that's the most he does to show his discomfort. Lucifer sits down beside Alastor, and the silence that surrounds them is agonizingly unpleasant. But Lucifer's angelic power is warm, reassuring. It bathes the two of them in a golden glow, and eventually Alastor starts to calm down. He grips onto Lucifer's hand with a little more strength, and he's almost a comforting presence as they hold hands. Alastor speaks first.
What is wrong with you?
Me? What's wrong with you? Lucifer retorts hotly. Who just ignores an injury?
I can't fathom why you are doing this. You even used your command.
Alastor looks at him, his eyes calculating.
We are certainly not friends. Wouldn't it be easier for you if I just died?
What? Charlie would be devastated.
So it's all for Charlie, then?
Lucifer looks at him, and he comes to a startling realization. You're kind of an idiot. Alastor bristles at this, and he almost crushes Lucifer's hand in his own.
No one has ever called me that and lived to tell the tale.
Do you really think I would do this? Lucifer lifts up Alastor's hand for emphasis. For anyone. I'm not a saint.
Aren't you an angel?
Alastor amends. Not even that anymore, either. At the core of it all, it's hard for Lucifer to act like he doesn't care.
He doesn't know him very well, obviously. But what he does know intrigues him a bit. Makes him want to see what else is behind the question mark that is Alastor. Still, Lucifer doesn't want to elaborate. They lapse back into silence, him sitting, Alastor lying down, and eventually he loosens his grasp on his hand.
Hey, you should be good now, Lucifer says softly. You want to check your wound? I could turn around.
No need. I can feel that it is gone.
Alastor removes his hand, placing his fingers together on his chest instead, but he doesn't try to get up. It looks like there's something weighing on his mind.
Your Majesty,
Alastor stares up at the ceiling, avoiding all eye contact.
why did you say that it was a nice picture?
It takes a moment, but Lucifer realizes that Alastor was talking about the picture he stole from the V Tower. Oh, is it already time for a daily compliment?
Lucifer teases. In the periphery of his vision, he can see Alastor roll his eyes.
I just thought it was a shame that you destroyed that picture. You look kinda happy, calm. You know it would make for a good wanted poster.
I will keep that in mind,
Alastor says dryly. And what about you? What nice thing are you going to say about me today?
Lucifer taunts. Alastor turns around to look at him, his eyes clear and focused.
You're upset about your wings,
He states. And then in a voice that's barely there, you shouldn't be. That's as detailed as Alastor gets, but Lucifer's still happy to hear it. In his monitoring room, Vox sees Alastor and Lucifer holding hands on every single one of his screens, and he gasps so loudly that he chokes on air.
What the actual fuck are they doing?
Lucifer Vox leans in, watching with barely concealed rage.
Are they friends now or something? He thinks back to the other day when the two of them stormed the V Tower together, fighting, stealing, working together.
It's a bad sign for Alastor to team up with the King of Hell, and Vox contemplates on what to do, drumming his fingers on the table.
I'm going to have to tear them apart.